up, right? So if it exceeds that 10%, it auto triggers sell of everything. And I actually, it's funny, I was having this conversation with a crypto group. It was an investor group the other day. And they were telling me, they were trying to convince me that utilizing some of the tools that you can find, like Dex Tools has its stuff, and some of these other ones, and some of these high limits, lows, and all stop limits and stuff. And I was explaining to them that this is a stock market, maybe, but even the stock market is questionable. And remember, I was a financial advisor at UBS Warburg, as well as at Payne Weber back in the day. I started my entire career in life as a financial advisor and spent about 10, 11 years in the space. So I have a lot of experience understanding markets, doing all the technicals, all the charting, the bands, all the good stuff, right, when it comes to trading. And I was trying to tell these guys, I was like, you guys, this is not, the variables that exist in crypto and the variables that exist inside the stock market are entirely different. And they were, explaining to me how their different strategies work. And the one guy, it was so funny because they were all hyped about telling their story about these things that they're doing and how awesome it is. And the one guy told this whole story. I'm not going to say his name, but told this whole story about how this bot, it's not really a bot. I mean, it's a platform that's doing it for you, but it's all there's no better way to call it but a bot. Yeah. He's telling the story about how it, was doing some trades for him recently and how it really, really was awesome, and he made a little bit of extra money, because the market kind of moved a little differently afterwards. And he's telling the story, and then I was explaining to them, how these things can get people caught in areas where they lose out on the future opportunity. And then
big time.
He actually got on and he said, well, I got to tell the truth. And he was starting to tell the story about how one of his cryptos, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can actually see them on some of the charts and chart softwares where a crypto will all of a sudden get like a dump and then a buyback all within a matter of 10 minutes. Yeah. And it might have that little skinny line that goes down, but it's all the way back, kind of where it started. And all that is triggering someone's stop loss or whatever it could be. And that's why it starts the little avalanche kind of feel. And he was telling the story that it barely went through his stop and it sold. And by the time he realized it was sold and he went back to get in, it was already up 70% from where it sold. And he was explaining that, the whole thing behind it. And I was trying to explain to them that these consolidations are typically by design, and they're by design of certain traders based on their habits. And to understand why they do it would be probably a whole nother podcast, or maybe we do like a crypto class at some point for you guys.
We do need to do that.
It would be fun, actually, give you guys like some serious deep trading insight into crypto. But I was having that conversation with these guys, and he just said, I wish I would have met you 2 weeks ago. He said, I would have made a couple $100,000 more, and I would still have my holdings, and I wouldn't feel so bad. And I went home and I couldn't even look at my kid because I felt so bad that I let him down. I'm like, hey buddy, I wasn't going that far.
Right. Yeah. Breathe.
You have to definitely understand.
You have to roll with the punches sometimes.
Well, but you take historical data. And nobody really has taken crypto historical data in terms of price movements, trading data, blockchain data, and really compiled it into something meaningful. And that myself, I spend a lot of time analyzing and knowing how these markets move and the emotions. I think if we had a true deep discussion on crypto markets and the emotional side of the crypto market, I think people would see things happening and probably wouldn't think twice about it. Just because the historical data supports that the outcome always rebases itself or re-equalizes at the top. And for the most part, about 96, 97% of the time,
that's right,
everything comes to a place where you expected it to be in the first place. So anyhow, I don't want to get too deep on that. I know we're going down a whole nother topic now.
Rabbit hole.
But that's our AMA for today. Let's take a look at some of the questions really quick here.
We may have really answered most of them.
I think we did. What's the plan to have certain volume per day to keep our holders? Why the DEX tool saying that training initiated? Wingo initial announcement. We talked about that earlier. I think we covered that. If there's anything further on that, let us know. We need more exposure and we don't have new holders. We went over our marketing plan earlier. We should see some fruit of that labor here shortly, but BSC scan is live. We've got YouTube.
Yeah, it looks good.
We're going to YouTube, I believe, next week on Monday. Cryptic, is it Monday you're launching YouTube video ads, if I'm correct? Okay, and then Twitter is live. We are somewhat challenged on Twitter ads because I have to, the way that they work, getting Twitter ads to work for crypto is not the easiest thing in the world, especially because anything financial services related is not allowed on Twitter. We do have a live ad that is running that has our Twitter account in it as well, and it's getting clicks and it's getting people. But our main goal is to get a direct, very detailed ad for the project on Twitter. So we are working diligently on getting Twitter to approve. I've got ads ready; they're in there. And it's funny because sometimes you just get lucky.
You do.
Sometimes you just get lucky with
Get
Twitter.
Rubber stamped.
Yeah, it's usually it's like the guy that wants to go home at 2 o'clock.
And it's like I've got 426 more of these ads.
It's 158 and he's like 400 approvals behind, you know? So he's just like, that's what you hope for. And we've gotten that before and it's worked out just fine. Would Dev Team 6 consider SYMBULL as their project? If yes, why is it not featured under our project on the Dev Team 6 website? This is a great question, and I would tell you my personal opinion on this is SYMBULL, we are on the SYMBULL team.
Yeah.
100%. We have determined this approximately 2 weeks ago based on our conversations with the original team. We have merged teams together. We have put them together to become the SYMBULL team. We are part of the leaders of this project. We are taking this project into the future. We are going to do everything we can with Dev Team 6 to make sure we utilize the proper resources within our grasp here locally and internally. And we are also going to utilize a lot of our blockchain development partners that we are already using to continue the development of the various pieces as well as the original developers from the team. So it's been a really good kind of marriage and I mean we're past the honeymoon. We're past the honeymoon phase. I think we're about to move in together. It feels like. But why is it not on the Dev Team 6 website? Truth be told, 100% true, is that we just haven't had time to put it on the website yet. We will add it to the website and it'll be in there. You'll see it. It'll be listed alongside the rest of our projects because if we're behind it, we're supporting it, we're on the team, we're a part of it, we absolutely will make sure that it is part of our ecosystem moving forward. And we are going to, for the rest of our projects that are out there, we are going to have value added into the ecosystem of Dev Team 6. There is going to, obviously there's a roadmap, there is going to be ways that SYMBULL is going to benefit from the core assets out here that'll help push forward the project itself, and there are going to be ways where these projects will actually use SYMBULL for other things as well, and SYMBULL will benefit from that too. So there's a lot of really good things that are coming. We're just in the process on the Dev Team 6 website getting everything up to speed and updated on current information and stuff, but we will get it current for you guys so you can see it. The next question, we are expecting a best market early next year. What are we going to do to combat the... Oh wait, is this say, what is this? The best market?
Market, yeah.
What are we going to do to combat the price of the token and maintain a healthy look for the project? Well, the key to being healthy and keeping everything in a good spot, you know, it really boils down to how everything in terms of our marketing efforts work. if we're going to go full throttle on marketing, a lot of it is strategically done, and it's all based on times. Dropping your biggest ad and going with BTOC ads and some other stuff on Thanksgiving Day probably isn't going to be the best option, because it goes right into the biggest Christmas shopping holiday of the year, most countries all worldwide. So we are going to strategically drop information as well as these ads with our partners at the right times, so that we see the fruit of the actual effort, and we're not timing it where the audience isn't necessarily interested in engaging with what we're putting out there at that time. So there's a lot of strategy there to make sure that we're timing it properly. And then obviously the other side of it that can also base and keep us in a positive flowing direction is going to be the buyback. The buyback is one thing that we can use to rebase the market for SYMBULL, as well as to increase or decrease the buyback to kind of match any sales that come in. We are planning to do more once there's a couple weeks maybe of data that helps us and guides us on,
as far as the buyback,
right? Yeah. As soon as we know how the buyback functions across the market pricing and its actual variables up or down, it will give us the opportunity to really put that strategy in place. But it usually takes at least a couple, probably 2 to 3 weeks of data. Yeah. Then we compile it, then we put a strategy together, and then we put it on autopilot. Once that happens, typically everything seems to rebase. We've done that with other ones in the past, and we saw them. We actually saw, once we did that, we saw them go up 300, 400% rather quickly. So we're going through the same exact process. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it worked before, don't reinvent it. So we're going to do the same thing, apply what's worked in the past going forward to find future success. So thank you, everybody. That's everything I think that we've got question-wise.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Look forward to next week. We've got a lot of really cool stuff. We got the influencer video coming out on Monday. We'll be talking a little bit more in detail about burns and how burns are going to be something very exciting moving forward for the project. We are going to probably get a little bit more in depth on maybe starting the process of rolling out more and more details of Bull Swap. Just so that way everybody is on that journey with Bull Swap getting released in the very near future, and feel like they're well ahead. I think one of the things we've learned in our past is when you drop a new piece of technology, you don't want to drop it and then nobody's got an instruction manual. Meaning they don't want to see it for the first time and not know how to use it. We want to kind of go walk you through it almost as if you're using it as it's getting ready to be released, and you know how it works, how everything works. Dive deep into each and every last detail of how the users are going to use it. So we'll go into that stuff maybe starting next week. And then obviously we'll bring any updates for marketing. I know Cryptic has... I know she's got a couple big influencers, but I don't know the status, and I think she wants me to wait till next week to give real good updates on. I know, I'm getting the look. The look I'm getting is I'm kicking butt over here, and I'm doing awesome things for the project. But please don't give up my secrets quite yet, because my secrets are good, but I don't want anybody to hear about it until... it's official and all that kind of thing. So there's some cool stuff she's doing behind the scenes for you guys that I think is, as those come to life and they become real, are going to be also catalysts as well. So everybody, thank you so much for being here. We'll try to be on the chat later on today. Try to give you as much time as we possibly can to kind of keep up to speed with what it is that you guys are looking to ask questions regarding and whatnot. But again, thanks again. Let's keep it going. Let's do awesome this weekend. Let's keep everything moving. There may just maybe be a update or a release for a possible contest that we might host over the weekend for Twitter. We should probably have something out on that here in the next couple hours. Twitter to me is one of the presence that we absolutely need to get our content on. We can go out there and, you know, pay these Twitter promoters and all that. I don't know about you, but, you know, one of the things that I can't stand when projects, you know, they've got a Twitter account with 28,000 followers, and when they post, only 4 people like it.
Yeah, I love that.
That you can go do the post, retweet, like, comment, all that stuff with these Twitter promoters and give away $200, whatever the case is. That's great and all, but it's not a true audience, and it's, you know, nobody needs a fake look. I mean, we're all adults here. We don't need to put a fake look on to get people to think that we're a project that matters. We do matter, and this project is going to be amazing. And I know as time progresses and as we build this the right way with a solid footing and a foundation like you've never seen before, is going to be the win. That's the win. We don't need to go out there and put on a fake look. We're not, you know, we're not going to the, you know, slip swap to go buy a date. We don't need to date people for fun. We are who we are. SYMBULL is a future of crypto, and it is going to make a difference in this space. And we're just going to be real, authentic, and genuine, transparent as hell, and make sure people feel it and they can sense it when they see us, when they hear from us, when our community speaks. People in the community, I know we had a little bit of change of energy this week in the community. A lot of people were feeling like they couldn't ask some questions, things like that, earlier in the week. And I think we've, through some of the mods and through some of the people, I mean, we expressed it in the last AMA. We want every question.
Everyone, the hard ones, the easy ones.
I don't care if you're questioning what I did in first grade, and, you know, what happened at lunch one day. Did some kid call me a name? Like, you can ask whatever you want. We've absolutely got nothing to hide. We don't care what you ask. We don't care how awesome it is or how potentially, you know, hurtful it could be, because there's nothing that we don't want people to know. There's nothing. We want everybody to know anything and everything about the project. There's millions of questions that come up. There's no reason to even go offline. Like, if you asked me, hey, can I DM you? If it's a question about the project, do it in the community. You know, do it. I want everybody to see. I want everybody to hear the answer, because I'm proud of our answers. I'm proud of everything we do, whether it be good or bad. Listen, if it's bad, we're going to figure it out. We'll have a solution. If it's good, we're going to take it. We're going to keep applying it moving forward and kick some ass and take names. It's just how we work. Like, we're not afraid of any of it. And if there's something wrong or something went wrong, you know, something didn't work out the way somebody expected it, or whatever the case may be, we'll fix it. We'll fix it. I mean, we're the guys that, you know, people send BNB to the contract on accident to buy a token, and we can't get the BNB out of the contract. It's impossible. But we send them BNB back.
Don't make it a habit.
Yeah, don't make it a habit. But we do. That's just who we are.
Yeah.
We care, and there's nothing you can ask that we wouldn't be happy to ask or answer publicly. So please, mods, anybody in the group, anybody in the community, if you see anybody shutting down anybody else that's asking a question, I don't care what the content of the question is, unless they're intentionally trying to attack the project and it becomes brutally obvious that this person is intentionally trying to harm the project. If they're just asking a simple question, please respect everybody. Give them the respect as you would expect someone to give you, because it's important. We all matter. Everybody that walks the face of this planet matters. And nobody should be treated with disrespect or treated otherwise. So with that said, amen to all of you. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you spending it with us. I know you could be other cool places on a Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday.
And you could be in a lot of other projects too. So we're happy to have you guys here.
Absolutely.
We're wildly blessed to have you on this journey with us. This journey is going to be, it's actually going to go pretty quick.
It'll be insane.
Yeah, it's going to go pretty quick, a lot quicker than most things that I have seen in the past, which is actually due to a lot of really good upfront planning with the core team. So very excited about where that's going. But thank you everybody for being here. You'll see us again rather soon. You'll see me probably all weekend at some point, usually at nights. But you'll see me, and you'll see Eric as well, and then we'll be in touch as soon as we get back on. Thanks everyone. Have a wonderful day.